Just what is teams seem to be playing really well last 10 games, points in 8 straight, 9 out of 10. What is clicking? What's working so well?
I just think right now everyone's sort of on the same page. We're committing to playing strong defense and keeping pucks out of our net, and then our power play is converting when we get our chances. So right now it just seems everything's clicking, but we've also had some shootout wins and some overtime wins, and those points are huge to be able to come up with too. And there's also times where we've been down and then able to come back to force overtime and get a point out of games. So we're just stressing trying to get a point in each game we play, and things seem to be working right now.
Talked about how today was a lot about keeping your edge. And you said that when you start to think you have it figured out, usually you lose it pretty quickly. What does it mean, I guess, for you to be keeping that edge at this time of the year?
Yeah, I think in order to win down the stretch, you got to be, have that edge like you're talking about. It's a playoff atmosphere. Being honing in on the details that sometimes if you slip up, it'll end up in your net, and those are the most important parts of the game. So, trying to limit the team's opportunities. Like we had a meeting today, and it addressed, statistically that we've been able to, limit scoring chances for the other team, and it's paying off defensively, and then offensively we're also creating a lot of chances. So, the stats seem to line up with the way we're playing right now.
We were talking to Coach in the offseason about just how much fun the postseason run is and all of that stuff. He's like, you got to turn the page. Like you can't live in the past and things like that. But can you take things from that previous page and apply it to a new team and a new year? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you build off that?
I believe so. I think, you see it in the NHL with teams acquiring guys with playoff experience, when they're, high in the standings and ready to make playoffs. So I think it does play a factor, and having the amount of guys that we do that had that experience last year, certainly will pay off for us. And, we had to play in the play-in games last year, and, we faced Belleville, who's a tough opponent, and, we're able to win a game here in overtime and then go there and then take care of business in their building. And I think that carried over to our other series. So, having some guys that have that experience, we're able to lean on them a little bit, and also have them explain to the younger guys too, how important, like I said, each play is, sometimes when you feel like you don't have it, but, helping your team win is, crucial at this time of year.
About chasing that high of last year's playoff run and just the excitement, the atmosphere. You can't start right there again. You don't start the season in the playoffs. You got to grind through the year. But does it feel like you're closing in on that rush, that feeling of playoff atmosphere, or is that already underway?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I think we like to take each game as a time and not worry about it too much. Focus on our next opponent. Like we have, I think, Syracuse twice and Utica. Like those are two teams that, if you have a good week, then you're sitting really well. But if you have a bad week, then it's like another side of the coin. So just got to keep harping on the things we are in practice. Have good practice. Have good habits, and I think guys have done a really good job of that.
Been in the playoffs for the last month and a half. Does it feel like that to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've played so many games too. It feels like we're playing series out there. It's crazy. We had a lot of 3-3s, and guys are banged up. Guys are, it feels just like playoffs, honestly. So you want to be playing your best hockey going into that time, and I think the teams that have the success in the playoffs, we're continuing into the playoffs, playing well. So, if we could get our game like it has been trending in the right direction and not get too complacent, like I think he was talking about, we should be in a good spot.
Does it feel A little similar. Every year is different, but last year you guys got hot at this time. You got hot at the end of March, and then it rolled into April. Does it feel like you're playing again? Hey, things are clicking. You talk about identity and little things. Does it feel like, hey, we're starting to be playing our best hockey at the right time again?
Yeah, we certainly can clean up some things, and we worked on that today. It's like I keep bringing it back to those little, like one little decision can, these are tight games, and one little lapse can cost you a game, and I think that comes with harping on the right things that we're doing every day and practicing well, and carrying it over to each opponent.
Said you guys have done a really good job. Like you said, focusing on one opponent at a time, not looking at the standings, not watching the scoreboard from around the league. How tough is that?
It's really not that tough when you play so many games. I think if you have a stinker here and there, you gotta learn from it, but also put it in the rearview mirror. Even when you play well. Just because we're playing well now doesn't mean we're going to be playing well in a couple of weeks. That's why you got to, approach practice and, reiterate to the guys that, how important it is to keep your habits and going into each game that we play.
That's one for me. Just the fact of talk about some of these comebacks when you guys haven't been playing well for 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and then rally like in Utica, coming back from 3-0. The team kind of had that mojo last year, and what does it say about the confidence of this team, not only offensively, but I asked Malcolm about it too, because the fact that he has faith that okay, I gave up 3 goals, that sucks, but if I can stop the bleeding at 3, I trust this offense. And you guys offensively going, he's not going to let up anymore. Where does that confidence being down but not feeling out?
Yeah, I think going back to the whole experience thing, last year that first game we were able to come back and beat Belleville in overtime. Having that in your mind that, okay, this could be done, we're not, just because we're down by 3 goals doesn't mean that's going to be the outcome of the game, and able to battle back in third periods and know that we can win games, tight and win games in overtime. I think earlier in the year, we were just banking on scoring a lot of goals and then, winning games 8-6, 8-7, now it's tougher for offense to come by. And I think since we've been developing our defensive game a lot more, I think that's paid off.
Defensive game more this time of the year. Is that just part of the transition of the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think
the good teams.
Yeah, especially our division, because it seems to be so tight every year. Our games are such low scoring now, and we're able to. I think we had a 1-0 game in overtime.
Yeah, it's an overtime shootout.
Yeah, so drawing from past experiences that we can do that, and we're a little more comfortable, in situations like that going into overtime. I think is massive, and it certainly paid off for us last year. So hopefully continue with the things we're doing.